The Bible is not all you need to understand the Bible. And geez, we got to talk. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. All right, guys, look, here's the deal. The Bible was written thousands of years ago to specific people at specific places at specific times in specific cultures. And there's all kinds of stuff you assume when you're talking to people in your culture, like what the word marriage means and all kinds of stuff like that. And you know what you don't do when you're talking to somebody in your culture about marriage is say, hey, before we talk about marriage, let me define exactly what I mean by that word, because you know. And that's what makes the Bible difficult to understand sometimes, because they didn't explain all of the things that were implied, that were understood in their culture. They just spoke to the people at the time in the place, which means that you can't just use the Bible to understand the Bible, because they don't spell everything out, all of the definitions for everything out. There is so much that is assumed by the culture. And there are many cultures that are represented in the Bible because it was written over thousands of years. And if you can imagine the difference just in American culture in the last 100 years, you can imagine how different the culture is throughout the text of the Bible. So you just can't understand it fully by just reading it. So just stop posting in comments, what scripture are you referencing? Because the Bible is not the only way to understand the Bible. In fact, you often have to consult outside sources. You have to consult scholars that are anthropologists and sociologists. And they have to learn from texts like the Mishnah, the Oral Torah. They have to look at other texts that are outside the Bible to say, you know what, this is what this means. This was the cultural practice of marriage in the Iron Age. This was the cultural practice of marriage in the first century in the ancient Near Eastern world. Like you have to find that in other places in order to understand and say, okay, so this is what that was then. So now we can take that out and we say, like, okay, so the deeper truth is here. This is the cultural truth. This is the deeper truth. Now let's come over to our culture and now make this deeper truth apply in our culture. Is that stuff hard to understand? Yes. Do you have to go to graduate school often to learn that stuff and to learn how to read the scholars that are doing that original research? Yes, but don't worry. That's why you have people like me and other creators like Dan McClellan and other people like that are on here on TikTok and other places that are trying to help people understand the Bible by explaining its deeper truths and deeper meanings, by sort of unearthing some of that cultural reference that might cloud your understanding of the Bible or make you, more importantly, misunderstand the Bible. And I'm not saying to not read the Bible. I would never say that. What I'm saying is the Bible is an ancient spiritual text that is written to many different cultures thousands of years ago. And when you're reading something in the Bible and it feels weird, hateful, exclusionary, unmerciful, all of those kind of things, and you bump on it, just know that it's probably something like that. There's probably a cultural issue, because the Bible doesn't say that being gay is a sin. It doesn't say that marriage is between only one man and one woman. All of these kind of things are cultural things that once you understand them, bring the Bible to light in the modern world. You know, and just for good measure, it's also not pro-life. It's pro-choice, but you can look at my videos for all of that.